Hi, welcome to the Shelly Studio, and today I am going to make something to hold my Happy Mail. I have it, it's been in different places, and I need to use it up, but I want a nice place to keep it. So I decided to take this cereal box and turn it into kind of a binder thing to hold my Happy Mail. So I'm inspired by Kylie Koo and Nina Ribina's Facebook group. I think it's called the Mixed Medium Emporium. And if you're interested, I'll try to remember to put a link in the description box below. But for January, they were doing master boards. And I have so many bits and pieces of paper that I've been trying to use up. I figured I would turn this into a masterboard / it's gonna turn into a box. So I just sanded off this cereal box to get some of the gloss off to make sure everything will stick. And of course, all I've got is an emery board to do it with. Need to get me a sanding block. One day I'll go to the hardware store, pick that up. Anyway, so these are jelly print papers and just scraps of different things. I'm just gonna collage on here. I won't make you watch me do the entire collaging process, but I'll show you a little bit and then we'll go to the next step. Alright, so the outside's done, and at the time I was doing this, I was thinking it would be more of a binder rather than a box. So I wanted to trim all these edges so I didn't have all the little bumps poking out, but I still wanted it to close a little bit, so I trimmed these down. And if I had realized what I was planning, I probably would have glued something on there to extend it before I collaged on it, just to make it the right length. But you'll see, I fixed that in the end. So I'm just trimming up these edges to make them smooth and even. And I do it on both sides. So after I do that, I just kind of fold it where it's going to fold and kind of crease it a little bit so that it will bend properly. And here I'm showing you the outside and the inside I collaged off camera, and now I am going to fold the corners up to make the box. And I'm using Fabri-Tac and just gluing those corners in. So on this corner there's no tab, so I just add a piece of cardstock and glue that to the corners. Okay, so here you can see how there's a bit of a gap. So I cut a piece and I'm just going to glue that in, and then when I close it, it'll line up. Let's see, that's how it should work. So I go ahead and glue that in. Didn't make you watch that. I've also put 3 holes in the top of the spine and 3 holes in the bottom, and I'm just taking some elastic that I have and threading that back and forth through there. I was trying to do that without flipping it over, but I can't see it. Couldn't do it. Had to go that way. There we go. Whoop. There we go. So I just weave that up and down. That'll give me spot for 3 signatures. And I didn't, or do I do 4? 4 signatures. And I don't do it super tight because I didn't want it to like bend the spine at all. I just do it snug but not too tight. Let me just tie that, doing kind of an overhand knot. I think that's what they call that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so the signatures I am going to make, I have some legal size manila folders that I got at a thrift store, and they're about the right size to fit in there even without trimming. So I am just going to score them, pull out my paper cutter and my bone folder and find the halfway point. I'm thinking it through there. Like, haven't quite decided. Okay. Alright, so halfway point, just gonna score it. Works well with that rubber behind it, helps it score. And then that will be one signature. Not perfect, but it really won't matter too much. So now I was deciding, do I want to open it on the side or on the top? I decided easier access would be to open it on the side rather than open it on the top and have to reach all the way down inside. So I'm going to take some double-sided tape and run it along one edge. There we go. And I'm just leaving the tabs in. I can give these titles later if I want. Once my Happy Mail's gone, I can use it for something else. And I could decorate the folders, you know, with the Happy Mail if I want to. Alright, just putting that on there, making sure it's nice and steady, and putting a little bit of glue on that end that didn't quite get enough. There we go. And just smush that down. Make sure it folds in half. And it's done. See? Simple. It's really simple pockets. I'm going to put that in there just like that, like a traveler's notebook would. And then I have it, and a little sample Happy Mail. I'm just a little small one. And it's just going to go in there. So here it is, all full of stuff. In fact, it's too full. It won't stay shut on its own. So here I decide that I could, you know, the old fashioned suitcases had straps and buckles, and I happen to have actually found this at a thrift store, and it has a little bit of ribbon on it, and it has those, they're fake buckles and meant to be just decorative, but I'm actually going to use them. And I'm using what's the fabric ribbon that has ridges? Gross grain? I don't know. Anyways, I look at the black and don't use it, but it's better that I use the white. It's a little heavier, and it will actually create traction on those buckles that it will stay buckled. So we're gonna go with that, and I end up using two different, a little bit different ribbons because that one wasn't long enough to do two. It's only long enough to do one. So I'm gonna glue that on there, and then we're going to create the buckle. So that's me thinking. I'm sitting here thinking, how's this gonna work? Sorry, I should have cut that part out. I'm like completely paused there. My brain was working apparently. So I've glued it on, and now I'm putting the buckle on here, and then I'm gonna glue the ribbon to itself. Just want to decide where it's gonna line up. Flip it over, and then I'm gonna glue that right there. And I'm using Fabri-Tac. Hopefully that will hold up. I figured that was the best glue I have for it. Just glue that down and let it dry, and do that to both spots. So I have two buckles. And yeah, it kind of goes over the bird, but it's what happens when I work, because there's, you know, lack of planning. Trying to make sure that's where I want it to be. And then more Fabri-Tac. Glue that down and trim it. And I did put little bits of glue on the end of the other edge of the ribbon, just so that it wouldn't fray each time I go to use it. Like this first time I put it in, I don't have it, but I glue it later, just to keep it from coming undone. So you just put it through there, and you can actually cinch it up a little bit, and it actually holds. I know, it's amazing. Could go buy some real buckles, but this worked, so that's what I'm using. And it's been holding up. I did this in January. Video's coming out probably February. And it's still holding up good. And it keeps it closed. It works. So I hope you liked that video. I hope it gave you some ideas. I think this is great. I need a bigger box for some other stuff that I need to store away. And it would be fun to have a cute decorative box to keep it in. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends, leave me a comment so I know you were here. And if you'd like to see more from me, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.